What's crackling, everybody? Welcome back once again to the definitive cereal tier list, where each episode we take a cereal, put it on the tier list, so you know how good it is. I'm your host Tucker. In this episode, we're gonna return to Malt O Meal for a bit, beginning with s'mores. Now we've done one other s'mores cereal long ago, and that was the E-ranked Honey Made s'mores. It was like an okay sort of mix of the flavor, nothing really great in the graham cracker representation, the like little cinnamon piece just faded away real quick, got very squishy, so I was not into that. So if this can at least avoid that, I think it'll rank higher, but it's been so long that comparing the taste will be difficult. So I think as long as it's okay and isn't just falling apart, this will be better than that. But let's just open up the bag and find out. So I do starting. Right, it's not a full thing, okay. It's a bit of it. Okay. I think that's how the other one smelled. It's pretty simple. Bit of chocolate in there, bit of cinnamon. Is this? It does open all the way? No, just to the. That looks weird. No? This will go smoother for the others, I hope. But okay. Actual cereal time. Okay. Seems to predominantly be the graham cracker look-alike piece. I think I'm going to continue just calling them by the part of a s'more they represent. Marshmallow, chocolate, graham cracker. So, seems to be mostly that. Seems like a lot of those sugar pieces on there. That's fun. That'll be a good time. Does not seem to be a ton of the marshmallow, and not a ton of the chocolate either. Could just be how the bowl fell out, though. Okay. Give me some marshmallow, some chocolate. Okay. Okay. Which actually do. Tastes pretty similar to a graham cracker. That's kind of cool. Did not get much of the chocolate or marshmallow piece in the taste there. So it's pretty much mostly a graham cracker, like a very small hint of chocolate and marshmallow. But it is crunchy right now. We'll see how long that holds out, because that's, again, the big factor that was an issue with the other s'mores. I've had a couple bites now where the ratio of the graham cracker to chocolate piece is a little bit closer, and that's actually mixed pretty well. It is still sort of, malt o meal flavored, so it's not quite top tier like chocolate or anything, but I think it does work out pretty well when you can not just be overpowered by the graham cracker piece every time. So like the Honey Made S'more cereal, the graham cracker pieces here have practically fully soggified at this point. Very mushy when you're putting it in your mouth. So I will say the one positive of there being so many is that even as I was getting to this point, there was enough that was still above the milk that I still had a bit of crunch in there. But now that's kind of evened out. Again, it's not much crunch besides the couple chocolate pieces. So same sort of pitfall, but doesn't seem as dramatic as I remember it being for the honey made s'mores. Though I might have had those slower. Maybe that was it. I don't know. But at the moment, I think this is a little bit above those still. Now let's see how s'mores-like the milk is going to taste. It's actually picking up the taste from each of the pieces. That's kind of nice. Unlike most of the time with the cereal, it's not fully or mostly graham cracker taste. So I'm into that. Yeah, I think that's actually a decent s'mores-like blend in the taste there. So good job, s'mores milk, for being, I think, probably a bit closer to the s'more sort of taste than the cereal that you have in you. This did work out okay, but I don't think it's anywhere near the top of the Malt O meals we've done. This is one of the cereals where, for that last sip I took, so much of the sugar coating that had been on the pieces had sunk to the bottom that I got a very sweet final sip. So not a huge deal, but still worth pointing out. So as I already pointed out, I think while these do work a bit better than the Honey Made S'mores, I have a little asterisk there because I think early on there were some cereals that I was eating a bit slower than I'm trying to stay constant now. So if these had stayed in there a bit longer, it might have been sort of a closer comparison. But I didn't do that, so I'm comparing this as it was versus those then. Taste-wise, I don't think there's really a huge difference from the vague memory I have from a long time ago. The graham cracker piece is still the biggest part, and it's okay, but I don't think it's necessarily a favorite of mine. And the chocolate piece seems fine, Malt O meal sort of chocolate, but it's not super present. And same with the marshmallows, where I feel like only a couple bites I had, I could really taste the marshmallow in there. So as sort of a s'more representation, I don't think this works as well from that point. Though again, I think the milk did have a bit of a better blend of the flavors. So maybe if it all sort of tasted like that the whole time, I'd be a bit higher on it, but it didn't. So what I'm gonna do is give s'mores a D. I think it's a pretty low D, because again, Honey Made S'mores is right at an E. So this is just, I'm putting it barely above there, but I don't think it's a huge difference. But just sort of looking at how the list is now, I don't think this quite fits in that E. So I'm pushing it over and giving it a D. And there are a couple other Malt O meal cereals with a D. So it's not too outside of that normal Malt O meal range that we've found. But I think it's the taste, compared to something like their, what was it, the Cocoa Ruse, that was a really off chocolate, so I wasn't super into that, but I think I would still have that over this, just because off chocolate I like a bit more than very overpowering graham cracker with tiny bit of chocolate and marshmallow. So it's just kind of a bottom one, not really remarkable in any sort of way, and just kind of fine. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and in the comments below, post your general thoughts. Let me know if you've tried Malt O meal's take on s'mores, and if you are a bigger fan of it than me, or if you thought this was way worse than the Honey Made S'mores and you're much more of a fan of that. You can sort of share your opinion either way. And it's also worth asking, I kept saying part of the issue with this was the graham cracker was very overpowering, but if you make s'mores a different way, where the main thing is the graham cracker and you don't have much chocolate and marshmallow in comparison, and this is accurate for you, maybe let me know about that, and I'll be a little sad for you that you're not having as much marshmallow and chocolate in your s'mores. But until next time, stay delicious.